Inmate Kyle Harrison died while in custody at the San Mateo County Jail. His death occurred within the facility's confines. This event marked a significant incident within the county's correctional system. The death took place in the month of March. Specifically, the incident occurred during March of the relevant year. The timing of the death is a key detail in the case. Deputies were alerted to the situation on March 15th. The notification regarding an unresponsive inmate came just before 5 p.m. This time marks the discovery of Harrison's condition. Upon discovering the unresponsive inmate, medical employees were immediately involved. These personnel attempted to revive Mr. Harrison. Their efforts were focused on restoring his vital signs. Kyle Harrison was 25 years old at the time of his death. His age is a part of the factual record surrounding the incident. He was a young adult when he died in custody. His death occurred only days before a scheduled transfer. Mr. Harrison was slated to be moved to state prison. This transfer was imminent at the time of his passing. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. The cause of death was officially determined. This determination was made by the medical examiner's office. The medical examiner is responsible for establishing the reasons for death. The medical examiner concluded the cause of death was an accidental overdose. This finding indicates the death was unintentional. It resulted from the ingestion of substances. The overdose resulted from a fatal combination of medications. Multiple pharmaceutical substances were found to be involved. Their interaction proved lethal. Specific medications were identified in the medical examiner's report. These substances contributed directly to the overdose. The combination was deemed fatal. One of the medications identified was methadone. Methadone is an opioid. It is commonly used in the treatment of opioid addiction. Another medication involved was amitriptyline. Amitriptyline is classified as an antidepressant. It is prescribed to treat conditions like depression. Gabapentin was also among the medications found. Gabapentin is a prescription medication. It is used for various conditions including epilepsy, neuropathy, and restless legs syndrome. The sheriff's office did not disclose information regarding the administration of these medications. It was not publicly stated whether the jail facility administered these specific drugs to Mr. Harrison. This aspect remains undisclosed by the sheriff's office. Kyle Harrison's death is currently under independent investigation. This investigation is separate from internal jail procedures. An external body is examining the circumstances. The investigation is being conducted by the San Mateo County District Attorney's Office. This office is responsible for leading the independent inquiry. Their role is to review the facts and circumstances surrounding the death. Harrison's death is one of several inmate deaths that have occurred. It is one of 6 such deaths recorded within the jail facility. This number reflects a pattern of fatalities in custody. These 6 deaths have occurred during the tenure of the current county sheriff. Sheriff Christina Corpus holds this position. The deaths have taken place under her leadership. Sheriff Corpus has been in her position for a specific duration. She has served as county sheriff for 29 months. The 6 inmate deaths occurred within this timeframe. Sheriff Corpus is currently facing significant scrutiny. She faces potential termination from her position. This situation stems from allegations of misconduct unrelated to the inmate deaths. Prior to his death, Kyle Harrison had been convicted. His conviction stemmed from a fatal collision. This incident resulted in the deaths of 2 individuals. The victims of the collision were a couple from San Carlos. They were identified as Greg Ammon, aged 44, and Grace Spiridon, aged 42. Their lives were lost in the crash. The deaths occurred in a collision in 2022. The incident took place in Redwood City. This location was the site of the fatal crash. The collision was caused by Mr. Harrison's actions. He was engaging in street racing at the time. This activity led directly to the crash. Harrison was racing against a teenage boy. The other driver involved in the speed contest was Cesar Morales. Morales was a minor at the time. The couple's car was struck during the race. Their vehicle was hit by the car driven by the teenager Cesar Morales. The impact was severe. The crash had tragic consequences for the couple's family. It orphaned their twin daughters. The girls were left without parents due to the collision. The twin daughters were 7 years old at the time of the crash. Despite the severity of the impact, they survived the collision. They were present in the vehicle, but were not killed. Following the collision, Kyle Harrison faced legal proceedings. He ultimately entered a plea of no contest to the charges against him. This plea has the same effect as a guilty plea in criminal sentencing. The charges Mr. Harrison pleaded to were related to the crash. They included multiple felony counts. These charges reflected his responsibility for the deaths and injuries. One charge was 2 counts of felony vehicular manslaughter. This charge addressed his role in causing the deaths of Greg Ammon and Grace Spiridon through negligent driving. Each count corresponded to 1 victim. Another charge was 1 count of felony engaging in a speed contest resulting in death or great bodily injury. This charge specifically addressed the street racing aspect of the incident. It linked the illegal racing activity to the fatal outcome. Kyle Harrison was sentenced for these crimes. He received a sentence of 8 years in state prison. This was the judicial consequence for his actions. The sentence included consecutive terms for the charges. This means the prison time for each count was added together. Consecutive sentencing results in a longer total term than concurrent sentencing. Judge Elizabeth Lee presided over the sentencing hearing. She was the judicial officer who determined and imposed the sentence. Her courtroom was the venue for the final judgment. The other driver involved in the race, Cesar Morales, was also convicted. Morales was 17 years old at the time of the crash and is now 20. He also faced legal consequences for his participation. Morales received a different sentence. He was sentenced to 90 days of electronic home monitoring. This outcome reflected his status as a minor at the time of the offense and other factors considered by the court. The sentencing hearing for Kyle Harrison included emotional moments. Impact statements were delivered during the proceedings. These statements conveyed the profound effects of the crime. Statements were heard from the victims' family members. This included testimony from the twin daughters who survived the crash. Their voices were part of the court record. Family members detailed the lasting impact of the loss. They described the grief and void left by the deaths of Greg Ammon and Grace Spiridon. Their statements highlighted the ongoing suffering caused by the collision. During the hearing, Kyle Harrison expressed remorse. He conveyed regret for his actions and their consequences. His statement was part of the court proceedings. Harrison acknowledged the immense loss suffered by the family. He specifically mentioned the loss of the parents. He also acknowledged the severe consequences resulting from his choices. Beyond the criminal proceedings, a civil action is pending. A wrongful death lawsuit related to the crash has been filed. This lawsuit seeks damages for the loss of life. The wrongful death lawsuit is still in progress. It has not yet reached a final resolution. The civil legal process continues independently of the criminal case outcomes.